go by the name Collins Mutindi. Collins Mutindi is a producer, a video producer, a music producer, also for the audio. I am a fashion designer. I design my own, I pick my own, I don't design, I pick my own clothes online and anywhere I find. And I do executive fashion design. I am also a parent, that's the biggest job I have, an MC for corporate events, and a creative. I write music also, but mainly I focus my energy into videography because I'm trying to change the current narrative that is in Kenya by including sign language interpretation into music videos. I discovered I'm a creative in class 3, but my dad tells me I started creating when I was very young. I was very creative, but he didn't mentor me well. He didn't think that it's something that I will pick from education. So I would say I started being a creative from way back when I was a child. In class 3, I performed a solo performance for the then town clerk for Nairobi, who is the late now John Gakuo. And after that, I was picked and I joined school choir and school drama. In class 4, I graduated into now mass choir. We were picked. Actually, we were picked a few students from the school. The people from PPMC came to our school. They auditioned us, and I was picked from the audition that was going around. And then I performed for Moi, the president, now the late, mass choir, in class 3, class 4, class 5, and class 6. But then my parents did not like that because I was being exposed too much into entertainment than music. So I was transferred to now Mashambani. Something funny happened. I got transferred in Mashambani for now to continue with my education in class 7. And the same year that I joined the same school that I joined in Mashambani, there was a Harambee. And then the then Vice President, Musalia Mudavadi, and then I was picked to do a solo performance for the Vice President of Kenya, then Musalia Mudavadi. After my O-level, I began DJing in Westlands, freelance DJing, going for squads, and if I get a gig, I do, but mainly was squad. So one time, I was coming from a gig in Westlands. I was not paid, so I found myself very late in town. And then at that time, there's no vehicles for going home, matatus. So I happened to sleep at Ambassador. But then, me being myself, I'm too talkative. So I tried finding friends there. I happened to interact with the people selling sweets at Ambassador. And I discovered majority of those people are deaf. So, and my wish was one day I'll become a producer. So when that time came, when God gave me a chance of being a producer, first of all, I thought of what to do, what to change in the industry, because I wanted to change something in the industry. And so decided to do the music for the deaf. And unfortunately, the deaf can't hear. Yeah? So I did an audio, and then I translated the same audio into sign language. And then boom, without even marketing, I just shared with a few people. Without marketing, it like blew out by itself. I started getting calls for interviews, and before I knew it, my name was international. It had gone everywhere. Every international media is calling, people are calling me left and right and center. So that is one thing that I thank God for, and I think it's changing the narrative in the industry. And I started as it was small when I started, but as time goes by, I am learning new things. I am growing. I am learning now the new Kenyan Sign Language. There's now the new version of the Kenyan Sign Language that people don't know. And I must say there's referral, and it's growing big. And yeah, I like how people are appreciating and embracing the sign language into the music videos now. I have a taste of style, but I picked it from someone. My dad, and also my mom is she likes style. She's a stylist also, but she doesn't know she's a stylist. If she goes to the market, she can pick like the names of fabrics. I knew them from my mom. She can tell me this is this type of fabric. If you want to go for evening, pick this. I pick these things from my parents. With my work, of course, there's a lot of pressure from home to work, and because I have children, I have a schedule. I have a timetable like the one people have in school. So number one on my timetable is my kids and my family first, which is my wife, my kids, and myself. And then I program. I have a program because I'm versatile. There's a time I program. There's a time for photography, there's a time for videography, there's a time for everything. I have programmed everything and the dates of doing the same. And so with that in my diary, I manage a lot of my time. So, and I don't get much pressure. There's pressure, but the pressure, I try to reduce it. And also, again, I have a management team who handles my time. So there's a lot of pressure out here, but I try to manage, and I try to program. If it cannot happen, I just let it go. I want to change the narrative in the music industry. So I don't sleep on it. I don't sleep on it. You'll find any time that away from my program, any time that I find, I script. I keep on scripting because this life must be scripted. And if you want to, people say, if you don't know where you're going, you'll end up someplace you don't even know. So I try to program and script write my life so that I can change complete. I want to do a overhaul of the industry because people have thought or they think that for a music video, for your music to be nominated or to be the best music video, you must have nude female on the set. But then that's not the thing. I'm trying to change. I'm trying to now make the music be music. Let the music communicate to people, because music is meant for human beings, and there are human beings that don't hear. So I want now to make sure that every music goes to or is consumed by any human being that is alive. One thing I wish I did not do is one day all this creative and stuff and this talent, I put it under the carpet, and I forgot about everything about talent and started looking for employment. Yes, I got employment, but there was so much pressure in being employed, because I was employed in a well-known organization, non-governmental organization. The expectation of me being the best, there's a competition in non-governmental organization. The best worker, the best employee. There's even placards there that this month, this is the best employee of the year. There's awards going. Yes, sometimes I would get those placards, but I was not at peace. One thing that made me say it's enough, it's actually my boss. She called me in her office and asked me if I'm okay being in that office, because everything was not going as normal. I was performing well at work, but every time I'm given a computer, I'm dedicated to a computer, I would install production softwares on a work computer. So my boss saw that, my immediate supervisor saw that, and they called me in and they asked me, why do I install softwares for production in the office computers? That is when it clicked back. And I explained to them, I told them, it's just, this thing, talent, you cannot go away from talent. It's like a curse. I think, basically, I am a very precise person. Before I let something out to the audience, I do a lot of research about that. Before I give something out, I make sure it's very unique. And so my music, if you go to YouTube or anywhere that you can find my music, even the mastering is different from now, the versions that we have. The videography, the quality is different. And if it's fashion, I mentioned I do executive fashion. It's precise executive. I give it my all. When I'm on set, I give it my all. I give it the best. If it's editing pictures, I try to come up with unique styles, and I'm just unique. So the highlight of myself, I think I'm unique, and then the uniqueness creates attention. I'm simple, unique, but it creates a lot of attention. And so I would say my simplicity is too loud. It's too loud, and it brings business, and it's the highlight of everything. I'm just simple and authentic. The specific thing that I did that really, before I mentioned that, I've been growing. I mentioned I'm growing, and I'm still growing. So I was a manager before, talent manager. And I know managing talent is a heck. and I was able to manage someone who was very huge, and he still is. His name is called Stiga, the one for the team up. So writing songs together, making sure that the best producer handles everything about my artist. So getting shows and getting interviews was very, 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 very difficult. Very difficult. And so when we parted ways, I grew. He grew and I grew. So everyone is doing their own stuff. When I started doing my stuff, and I included sign language interpretation, the interviews that I was calling people to give me, and they were not giving me, the same people, the same interviews, they started calling me for their shows. You see, until one time I was overwhelmed. I couldn't go to, I mean, there was that fixing of, so yeah, putting sign language in music video. I did a music, and it was a Kikuyu song. It was a Kikuyu song for a lady called Jenny Guri. It's called Degodie, and immediately after that, we did Mingi Mingi. It's called Mingi Mingi. And the production then, the cameras that I was using was not very well, but now that uniqueness, that sign language interpretation blew us everywhere. Everyone was coming to us. The people from TPMC were calling. And so, yeah, doing the music, the first video for music for the deaf, now was the thing. I have managed to set up a standard studio. I have a team, which is a big deal, by the way. If artists out there can know how a big deal people can trust you to become their boss, it's a really big deal. And then I have employed a lot of people, and I keep on employing people. But most of all, I have accomplished that recognition of the sign language interpretation in the music videos, and I thank God that it has now gone international. It's not just here. I'm known internationally, and the people that I never thought they would call me, they call me. And the best thing about all of these things is that people are embracing sign language into music video. That's a very big achievement in my career. And just getting phone calls for people wanting to work with me, I mean, that is a very big achievement. Yeah. First of all, I would want to thank all media stations for embracing sign language in there. There's no media station in this country that has no sign language in their news. So what I want to see change, people interpreting sports, like watu wanatangaza sports kwa radio, and even if you're not watching, you get entertained. So I want that entertainment to be consumed also by the people who can't hear. And advertisements. I am wishing, there's one thing I'm wishing, that before the end of this year, any corporate, any person who wants to advertise, they come to me, or maybe they find someone. We do a proper sign language advert. You know, the adverts that come before news, the adverts that run during programs, the proper advert, not these adverts that they do za mchezo. like a proper, even for the gambling companies, yeah, the deaf also, they gamble. The deaf, they party also. The deaf, they live the life. They consume anything that is consumed by a human being. So if I can include that, that will be the biggest achievement that I would see. I want to cooperate with. I want to merge with big people, the big influencer companies, and help put this in language, because in Kenya there's a lot of deaf people and they buy those products. Why don't we also, because we market this product to everyone, why don't they also get that proper information than going to the supermarket and start reading? They can, they can get that. And there are kids who are also deaf. I know a number of kids that are deaf. Kids programs, So that would be the biggest. Seeing an advert and these things being put on programs, it would be a very big achievement for me. There's only two choices when you wake up. You either continue sleeping or wake up and start working on your dreams.